Imagine if I didn't remember, I couldn't link the lyrics to a song. I wouldn't put it past myself. Hello, I'm Adele, and this is my life in lyrics with Elle. I think my lyrics have probably changed a bit over time in terms of my vocabulary growing. Considering that I started out when I was 19, definitely read loads more books and stuff like that since then. So I think my imagination has grown and therefore my lyrics have progressed. But you know, they're always still about the same thing, me, and seemingly my failed relationships, which is crazy because I actually don't feel like that, but yeah. Okay. Oh. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. I had no time to choose what I chose to do, so go easy on me. Well, this is from 30. It was my first single for 30. It makes me think about how lost I was when I left my marriage. I wrote the verse to Easy on Me in the shower, then I wrote the chorus later that day, and a lot of my friends throughout that rainy period of my life kept saying to me that you have to go easy on yourself, like don't beat yourself up too much about your decisions and stuff like that, and you just got to give it time and stuff like that, and it just really, really stuck with me that I have to like be kind to myself and stuff like that, and that it's incredibly layered, what I was going through. So that's where Easy on Me comes from. And I love that lyric, I had no time to choose what I chose to do. Another one in the bag, yeah. Okay. Ah, hello from the outside, at least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart, but it don't matter, it clearly doesn't tear you apart anymore. That's from Hello, which is from 25. Well, the thing with Hello is that when me and Greg wrote that, we wrote it in London, and I had a different chorus for it wasn't called Hello, it didn't have a name at the time. I had a different chorus, and it weren't right. It wasn't like as good as the verse and stuff like that. So we had a break from it, and I think I asked him to send me the song with the chorus as only an instrumental without the other chorus that we had in there. And I just started singing along to it, so it would have been at home. Would have been either in my kitchen or in my garden in London. I hadn't long had a baby when I wrote Hello, and it was also on the 25 album, which was following 21, which just blew up and grew some legs and became its whole other thing. It was massive. And so I guess I was a little bit of a stranger to myself in the way that my life had changed because of my career, but also becoming a mum. My life had completely changed with that. I missed my friends, and I missed my life before being a mum, before being famous, all of those things. And I feel like when you have a kid, it brings up a lot to do with your own parents, because you're trying to be a parent and stuff like that. So it was very much inspired by that, and it was about my younger self. It was my older self talking to my younger self, like, who am I, I remember it very clearly. I don't feel like this at all anymore, which is a relief. I'm proud of that song. It's a good song. If I tell the world, I'll never say enough, because it was not said to you, and that's exactly what I need to do if I end up with you. Chasing Pavements from 19. I do remember that on 19, I always use the word cuz. It's so lazy. One time, I was in the studio with Sia, and I kept being like cuz or but and she's like, we don't do those words. We don't do those words. We don't use words like that. Like, it's just like lazy. But clearly I'm lazy. This was, it was my first like proper single from my first album. And it was a song that may never have been written because I wrote this song with Egg White in London. I think I was doing like 3 or 4 days in the studio with him, and I'd left my guitar because I was going out that night, and I went back to pick it up, and he had these great chords and a beautiful like sample of strings and stuff like that, and it ended up being written in a day, and then he sent it straight to XL, my record company, and that's the start of my career, really. They were all very excited about it, having a radio hit. In America, everyone thinks I'm saying chasing pavements, which is lols. And you also don't know what a pavement is. We don't use it for the same thing, but yeah. Chasing pavements, I slapped my boyfriend and was running down Tottenham Court Road in London to make sure I didn't get in trouble, and then no one was chasing after me, and I was like, you're chasing pavements, it's going nowhere. Oh, I love this lyric. Take me by the hand while we do what lovers do. It matters how this ends, because what if I never love again? It's so dramatic. All I Ask from 25. It's one of my favourite songs. I wrote this song with Bruno Mars, and it was the best ever time of my life in the studio with him. He didn't like the lyric, why we do what lovers do. But he also didn't like the lyric in the song, like, I'm so hot I make a dragon want to retire. Like, he didn't like that lyric much anyway, of his own song. But I loved it because I find it fascinating with relationships and people that are in love, how sometimes they can end up hating each other so much when actually they loved each other so much at some point. I find it really sad. And that whole closure thing that some people need, which I've never really actually needed, but it was, you want to go out on a good note. You want to go out have a good memory and not an argument and not a fight. So it's absolutely about having sex and then never seeing each other again. Woo! I've actually never done that. Off is what I say. Bruno made me do about 50 million takes of that song. Normally everyone's like, that was great, that's fine, that's all you got to do, but he made me do so many. Oh, here we go. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you said, sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Someone Like You on the 21 album. I wrote Someone Like You on the guitar. I can like figure my way around a piano, but I can't play piano. It would take me like, this song would be like 20 hours long if I was playing it. And so I wanted Dan to transpose it and put it onto the piano. I can't remember if I had the chorus before I arrived or whether it was there, but the song came to life in LA. I sang it, I remember I wasn't stumbling over the lyrics. I sang it all out as I wrote it, like as it came to my head. We didn't realize it would be a hit because it was a piano ballad, but we were like excited because it was perfect for the song and what I was saying in the verses and stuff like that. I remember there's two choruses at the end. The first chorus, I got really, really emotional. I had to sit on the floor in the booth, and I actually wanted to redo that chorus the next day, but Dan loved it and he said it's full of emotion. So we kept it. But there's so much grace and forgiveness in these lyrics, which was very important for me in that relationship that 21 is about. I guess what inspired this lyric was similar to what I said earlier about how you can go from loving someone to really hating them and despising them. And I never felt like that, really. I know it probably seems like I did with that 21 album, but actually it wasn't. I had the best time for a couple of years. And I was really grateful that we'd come into each other's lives, and I was just sad that we couldn't really be friends anymore, because that was why we were together, was because we got on so well. I could definitely write a lyric like this at this point in my life of being more mature and things like that if anything weren't to last. So I relate to it. This song makes me think of when my life changed forever, because I think it was this song. I don't think it was Rolling in the Deep. I think it was Someone Like You that really, really carried the 21 album. All right, my last one. I feel like my life is flashing by and all I can do is watch and cry. I miss the air, I miss my friends, I miss my mother, I miss it when life was a party to be thrown, but that was a million years ago. That's a million years ago from 30. No, that's a lie, it's from 25. Ha! It was one of the last songs I wrote for the album, I think. I'd come to LA for like a month with my son, just to see like if a change of location and different people and stuff like that I would be working with would add anything to the album. And I was like, the album's already done. But actually I came and wrote When We Were Young and a million years ago. I miss the areas. I'm not really outside very often. Like, it's not that I can't go and do whatever I want whenever I want, but it's a bit of an operation for me to do it. So sometimes I can't be asked, so I just don't really go and do anything. And I definitely did find out on 25 that I had a vitamin D deficiency. Because I didn't go outside. I wouldn't be surprised if I missed the air was stemmed from that. It's probably not as deep as it sounds. You know, and being away a lot, working, and also just having my son, I felt like I wasn't being invited to my friends' things because it would always be, no, I can't, I haven't got a babysitter and stuff like that. And then in the end, they just stop inviting you because you always say no anyway. And I miss my mum I wasn't a child anymore. I had my own child that I had to look after. And, you know, a million years ago I feel like we all use that expression of, oh, that was a million years ago. Like, you know, it's 100 years ago. And it's just very conversational, really. And I definitely did feel like my life was flashing by and all I could do was watch and cry. I did feel like that. I definitely feel like my life is still flashing by. I'm having the time of my life. And the older I get, the more and more I love myself and I'm enjoying my life. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching My Life in Lyrics. And for more videos like this, subscribe to Elle.